right, good evening, everyone. And welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. This is our first time going live on
Both platforms.
Simultaneously. Hopefully, it's doing what it's supposed to do right now. I don't know. I'm going to go over and check and see right now and see if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. We're going to find out. And it looks like it is. Welcome, everybody, to the Adams Brothers Podcast.
That's not showing me.
I guess I need to go and change the camera setting to live.
Take that background out of there too.
Let's see here. See, that's a new thing we're working with here now.
Virtual background program.
Virtual background. No. There we go. How about that? Look at that. See how easy it is, man? Like I said, we're working with a new platform here, streaming platform. We're live on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously right now for our pop-up podcast. We're in a different location right now, so you might see the banner moving a little bit here in the background, but it's okay. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast, streaming live from StreamYard. We were on Zoom all for the last 4 years, and we have now moved over to StreamYard.
So far, working so good.
So
right?
far, so good. So, hey, man. That's what's up. We're trying new things over here at the Adams Brothers Podcast.
Yes, check us out on Facebook or YouTube.
Right now, simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
If you just missed the interview with Broward County Animal Care, we just got off a good interview with Randy Grice and Russo. Man, they provided us with some really good information. And man, I tell you, it was an outstanding interview, and we enjoyed it. So if you missed it, go back to YouTube and watch the playback. And hopefully it'll be educational to a lot of people. So we're trying to adjust our camera right here, right now. It was showing good here earlier, but for some reason, it's showing everything else. But we'll get it fixed.
That's okay. That's just temporarily right now.
As long as you guys can see us. Though.
Yes. And again, we're streaming on both platforms right now. We're on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously.
That's right. So we have, I was just talking to one of our friends earlier, Mr. Calvin Lane. And Calvin was telling me about the Masonic Lodge. What's the name of the group that Calvin is in? Masonic Lodge?
It's like that.
Delta Lodge. It's
Delta
Delta
Lodge.
Lodge. Delta Lodge here in Deerfield Beach. They were going, they needed some upgrades on the building. And code enforcement, we kind of got on a little bit. And they ended up with some fines, some huge fines. And it was they had done a lot of work and they had fixed a lot of things over there, but I guess they were unaware of some of the fines that were going on. But they ended up dropping all of the fines against the Delta Lodge, and that they're no longer being fined or anything. They complied and everything, so they're back in good standings now. The building is looking much better. So kudos to you guys over there, Calvin Lane, who was Dion Benefield, Pastor Times, Terry Scott, and all those guys over there at the Delta Lodge in Deerfield Beach. Kudos to you guys for sticking together, man, and making sure those things got taken care of. It's an old building, it's a historic building, and it needed a little upgrades, and you guys made sure it got done. the right way, and being kudos to you guys. Okay? What were you gonna say?
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. So
Hey, you see the comments over there? I see the comments up there. I didn't
I have to go over.
We are this new, so y'all, okay,
Yeah,
y'all bear with us because
We're
we're
trying something
working on
new
some
over here,
new technology here. So
new platform here.
we
So
can see
Janet, man.
Hello, Adam Brothers. Hello there.
Hello, Janet.
Maybe hit all down there.
Yeah, it's already set. All destinations. So yeah, it should. Wherever, if you put a comment on YouTube, or if you put one on Facebook, we should be able to see it here. So Dover Milton, thank you for finally. She's been on us about going over to StreamYard, and we finally went over to StreamYard. We'll be back in our regular studio next week. Like I say, you can see our banner moving because we got the fans going here to stay cool and everything. So still, we're here providing you guys with some information that you all can use. I wanted to read an email here that we got from the city of Deerfield. If I can find it on my phone. But meantime, if you got something, Wayne, go
yeah,
ahead.
I wanted to say for those naysayers out there who think that our platform don't get anything done, we brought attention last week to that gate at Westside Park, Oviedo McKeithen Park, and us on our podcast bringing attention to that. If you go by there now, they don't lock that gate at night. So everyone was complaining, but no one did anything. But our podcast spoke out, and apparently the city officials listened and they heard, and that gate will not be locked out there. If you ride by there now, you won't see that gate locked. It's still there. That's why I'm just cautioning people, govern yourself accordingly out there, because you know the powers to be are just waiting on one incident to happen so they can lock that gate and have an excuse to lock that gate. But for those naysayers who think that our podcast is not effective, look how we brought attention to that, and look how that gate, whoever go out there now at night near McDonald's can still congregate on the park and talk at night, like we used to do back in the old days. So, I don't want to pat ourselves on the back, but this just shows, as I always tell everyone, we can do anything in our community that we want. We can get anything accomplished here if we all stick together and stand in unison. If we do that, we're stronger in numbers. We can get things done. That's what I wanted to say.
And also, let's talk a little bit. And I know you know more about this than me. I haven't really read up on it yet about the level 2 background that's going to go into effect on January 1 for all Little League football teams that's here in the state of Florida, correct?
Yes, according my dad happened to run across that. He was just looking at some information, on the level 2 background checks, and apparently my dad, Bernard Adams, ran across it where the state of Florida, and if I'm wrong, please someone correct me, but from what I read, and if you go back and look on our podcast page, I put the statute up beginning on January 1st, 2025, level 2 background checks are going to be required by the state of Florida. So I don't know why none of our legislators who we have in Tallahassee, and that's at the Senate and the House level, did not say anything, and then it's not entirely their job. We have to educate ourselves, but those level 2 background checks that people were going to other cities, apparently come January 1st, you're not going to be able to run away from it anymore, because from what my understanding of reading is, the state of Florida will be putting those background checks on, especially on anyone getting state or local municipality dollars, if it's my understanding. Like I say, if I'm wrong, someone please correct me. But from my understanding of reading, all these cities that's will be required now to be under a level 2 background check. And
As of January.
as of
1.
January 1st,
So it won't affect this season.
2025. So everyone that left Deerfield and was trashing Deerfield about the level 2 background checks, you're not going to be able to go anywhere else. That is going to be in effect as of January 1st, 2025. So those coaches or whoever, I don't know, but you better try to start an appeal process or something, or you definitely won't be able to coach, especially with anyone getting dollars from municipalities. Only people I think are exempt are people that are not getting taxpayers' dollars. And I think they're probably, even if that's a loophole, if you're still using their field, they're still probably going to require that. So I don't see no escaping it. Like I say, my dad just happened to run across that. Maybe someone else knew it. They knew. No one ever said anything about it. So that is something that we all going to have to keep a watch on right now, especially those that don't meet that burden of being able to coach. Just keep an eye out on that.
Gentlemen, go on Delta directly. Hello, and Joanne Smith. How are you guys doing this evening? We just want to hop on here for a little pop-up podcast.
Can we take calls? Are we able to take calls today?
Yeah.
Because I wanted anyone that wanted to talk about the level 2 background checks are welcome.
Tony was, we're going to do a podcast with Tony. Tony Sands.
Yeah.
That's in the future. Well, I don't know if we're going to do it today, but.
Yeah, anyone is welcome to call in and talk about those level 2 background checks. But
it should be on. I thought it was on the screen.
754-257-1986. I believe that's it. We changed it.
Oh, there it is right there. I just put it on the screen down there.
Yes, our call-in number. You should be able to see it on the screen. If y'all can see the Cash App and the call-in number on the screen, give us a thumbs up.
It's on a ticker.
It's on the ticker on the bottom. If you can see that, give us a thumbs up.
754-227-1986. It's at the bottom of our screen right now. So again, we're trying some new things here.
Okay, I see a thumbs up there. Someone hit a thumbs up to the top. So 2 thumbs up. Okay, but yeah, that is yes, Miss Duncan. That is something my dad ran across. I don't know. The statue is on our podcast page. I put it up last night, and I just asked everyone to go back and read it. I copy pasted some of it. So I would just advise everyone to go back and read it, because the devil is always in the details. But as far as January 1st, 2025, everyone, teachers, the Governor DeSantis signed it. Everyone is included in that now. Everyone will be subject now to a level 2 background check, according to what I read. And if you go on our Adams Brothers podcast page, you will see the link, and I copy pasted a lot of it on there. So maybe someone, like I say, in the legal profession can interpret it more. But from what I saw, what my dad saw, everyone will now be subject to those level 2 background checks that Deerfield and a lot of other cities have. I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, but Governor Ron DeSantis signed it into law, I believe, in June. He signed it into law either June or July. But if you go back and read it, that's gonna be devastating for a lot of coaches that just want to give their time out there to the kids. That's going to be in place for teachers. It's going to be in place for a lot of people are going to be affected. It's not just for sports. The governor covered a whole multitude of different positions within the school system. He made sure that he was going to blanket everyone with that, and it's a Senate bill but he did sign it into law. And I think, go back and look, some of it take place too in 2026. That's why I say it needs to, everyone needs to read it and if, interpret it. Maybe someone else can interpret it a little bit better with the legality of it, but some parts take place on January 1st, 2025, and some take place in 2026. So we definitely have to check that out. You can read some of the comments.
Yeah, Delta was directly said, does it have to be a conviction, correct?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, and he also said, they tried me because I was charged, but Broward dropped the case. But once they said, well, they once said, well, I got arrested, but they changed their mind when I called my attorney in front of them.
Well, you're good there, because if you're coaching now, which you are, and thank you for helping the kids out there. Thank you and Miss Duncan, all y'all Janet, all y'all that have helped in the past, man. That's a thankless, tireless job out there, and I thank everyone for whether you did it in the past or doing it right now, man. And that's something else, and hopefully by next year we can have everything back in order again, like it should be, and being able to field a team next year. I feel confident that we will come back stronger than ever. But I think, as LaWanda Peck said on here, people need to follow up with the appeals process. That's what I was told too by people within the city organization, that a lot of people was not following up on the appeal, and if they just would have followed up on the appeal process, they probably would have been able to coach, but they didn't follow up.
So educate yourself on this. Hello, Mr. Jackson, Thomas Jackson. So make sure you educate yourselves on this news law that we're hearing.
It's on our Adams Brothers Podcast Facebook page. Go on there. You'll see it on there. Like I say, I copy pasted it, and I put the state statute on there. We all need to read up on that because, like I say, it covers a multitude, not just in sports, but it covers a lot of things outside of sports. So a lot of people beyond sports are going to be affected by this law that the governor signed back in June. He signed it back in either May, June, or July. So definitely check it out.
Joanne said, "Oh, check it out." That's good. Yeah, everybody educate on that. Educate yourself on that. We'll keep posting it on our page, so be sure to come by and check on our page a couple times a day. D. Trevor Rick to Delphine said, just don't let them say you cannot coach. Go into appeals, and if you got to take an attorney with you, then so be it, because you gonna affect your community more than any.
That's right, Dale. If anyone out there feels like they've been wrong, it's an appeals process through the city.
You're right.
And if you have an attorney, if you can afford an attorney, and you feel you're in the right, stand on your convictions, and go get an attorney and fight it. I mean, I think it's worth going out there helping the kids. These like Del said earlier, that's the only way we can reach the youth. We gotta give back. We stood on someone's shoulders before, so now we can let others come behind us. But it's a community effort in trying to to teach the kids here. It's just not going to happen. The problem didn't happen overnight, and the problem is not going to be solved overnight. It's a community effort. We all got to stick together. Janet Mann said a lot of schools going to have a vacancy. Okay.
Because of that level 2.
Because of that level 2. Yes, it is.
It's going to affect the high schools too. That's what. So it's definitely going to affect them too.
Yes, indeed. It definitely is.
Educate yourselves, everybody. We're going to put it up on our page. Don't rely on us to tell you everything. You have to, if you plan on coaching, you need to educate yourself. I don't care if you're with Deerfield or Rattlers or
whoever.
Chiefs.
It goes for soccer. It goes for everything. I was reading it. I read it so much to my eyes started bothering me. I had to take my glasses off and just take a rest, but it is long. And of course, you know, with that legal jargon, like I said earlier, the devil is in the details. So definitely everyone go back on our Adams Brothers podcast one more time. I put it up, I copy pasted a lot of it, and the ordinance is there. You click on the link, but like I say, I copy pasted a lot of it on our Adams Brothers podcast Facebook page.
And go ahead.
I'll let you go.
Because I was gonna move on.
Yeah.
Something else to say?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna move on.
Early voting started on August the 10th, and it goes through the 19th, I believe.
Sunday, I believe it's the last day. I'm not for sure, the 18th, whenever the 18th.
We put up all the early voting locations on our page that you can go and vote. If you don't know where to vote at, an early voting polling place, go on our page and you can see it there. We posted it on our page, so go on there and look. Regular voting for the primary starts on the 20th, August 20th.
Yes.
And I believe the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
10, I believe this early voting starts at around 10 a.m. in the morning, but it runs till 7 o'clock at night.
7 p.m. So you got, go to the polls and vote. Don't hold your vote hostage because you don't like a candidate or whatever. We're not going to get into that. But,
and these judges are very important because just remember, any of us can be on the wrong end of the law for something, might be just a traffic ticket. So just remember, do your homework. Every judge on there, go and Google their name. Just Google their name and see if you see anything inconsistent about them that you don't like or that concerns you. Then that's your option to vote or not to vote for them. Just this past Sunday, we had Judge Stephanie C. Moon at our church, and I put a video up of her speaking at Greater Belleville AME in Deerfield up on our Adams Brothers podcast Facebook page. And Judge Moon, I voted for her the last time. I think she's a judge that cares about our community. Just from what I seen, she took the place of Deerfield Beach on Alona Holmes. Judge Holmes is a product of Deerfield Beach. She graduated in Deerfield Beach, I believe, in 1977. Her family still lives here. I think they still live here. I'm not for sure. We heard that they was here. But Judge Alana Holmes actually presided over my sister Angela Savage murder case. So we have a history going back with Judge Holmes, and wherever she see me and Daryl, she comes up to us and she always just asks us how we doing. She saw me in church Sunday, and she always see me and she was like, "Where your brother at?" And I'm like, he wasn't here, and she was like, she was always saying, "I'm praying for you and your family." I mean, so that's very good of ex-judge Alona Holmes. She was here in Broward County, I believe, for over 30 years as a judge, and now I see her on with the NAACP when they brought some charges, I believe, against an officer. She was standing there as like maybe an advisor to the NAACP for some incident. I don't actually remember, but Judge Holmes, the retired Judge Holmes, is still out in the community now. She's no longer on the bench, but she's out helping the community.
She's still active
active in the community, and that's what it's about. It's about, man, all of us now trying to do a little bit to better our community, to better the kids, to save our kids from the prison industrial system.
So people, please, again, educate yourselves on these Broward County judges, okay? Don't just because it's on the ballot, it's just going to ask you, should you retain this judge or should you retain that judge and this and that. And if you just go in there and check yes, you don't even know who you voted for. If you haven't, did your research on these judges, you can go and vote for someone that's going to potentially do some damage to your life and change your whole life once you're down there in front. Okay, so educate yourselves. You guys are responsible to do that on your own. We can't do that for you. So,
Right.
um, definitely these judges. So go out and put your cashier votes. These are the local elections. These are the elections. These are the ones that's going to hurt you the most right here.
Trust me, those judges are very important because, as they always saying, remember now, we got kids, we got grandkids now.
They don't all do the right thing.
That's right. So just remember, it was like if y'all go back and remember years ago, we had a good, serious campaign against this judge. I can't think of his name, but he presided over the Jermaine McBean trial. And y'all remember Jermaine McBean was the man that was in Oakland Park where he had just went and purchased a air rifle from the pawn shop, and he was walking somewhere in Oakland Park. And the officer, he was a Hispanic officer.
Michael Kahn?
Not Kahn, Michael Usan or something like that. Usan, but he presided over the rappers that got killed, Extension case. But we had a good crusade against him, and on election night, he was losing. Michael Usan was losing, but somehow or another, when they counted the votes, Usan pulled back up and narrowly won, and this narrowly, but he was the judge that threw the case out, and it took the McBean family so long to get financial settlement from the Brown Sheriff Office, and he threw the case out before it could even go to trial. So, and he was at our church, and he was at our church about 4 years ago, and he did not expect. Terry Scott brought him to a candidate forum at Greater Bethel AME Church maybe 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, but he did not expect me to ask him that question about the Jermaine McBean case. And if you could have seen when I asked him, you should have seen how red his face turned, because he knew. He didn't think no one in that church knew about him throwing that case out on the basis of stand your ground. And when I called him out at the candidate forum, he was so upset it threw his whole night off. And I just kept it going on Facebook about not to vote for him, not to vote, and everyone did a good job, but we didn't do a good enough job. And Michael Hussein, I believe his name was, he was able to narrowly pull it out. But these are the judges, as Darryl was saying earlier, that we have to watch, because they are the ones who will let these rogue cops out and shoot and murder with impunity throughout Broward County. So we just have to keep an eye on those judges.
I have photos of that, Mr. Usan. Somewhere in my Google photos, I would have to go back and look at them. But when I do find those photos, we will share them with you here on our platform. So
yes, but definitely you got other candidates running. You got the clerk of courts, you got the sheriff race, you have state legislators races. You have, you got governor, you got the primary for the U.S. Senate. You have so many primaries. I'm telling you, folks, do your job. Whoever you vote for, just do your job and make sure that they're gonna represent your community, and they're gonna represent. Don't just go and throw someone in there because they look like us. That does not work out all the time, and you can put someone in there like forgot the name of the person that say all skin folks ain't kin folks. So just because a person
Ruby Green.
Yeah, Ruby said that. Ruby told us that on our podcast here one time, but I'm trying to think of the person, Zora Houston, or whoever that was that came up with that saying about all skin folks ain't kin folks. But don't just go and vote for a person because they look like us, because we'll get someone like Clarence Thomas or Burgess Owens, the guy name was, he's in the U.S. House of Representatives. We'll get people like Byron Donaldson from North Florida. He's black, and if if you listen to Byron Donaldson talk, you always see him up there. He's the black guy that always talking crazy and talking about when the police shoot someone, he comes on talking all crazy but you just have to just do your homework on these candidates. I just ask everyone to just take your time. Take about, if you can, from here to Sunday, find some time to Google all the candidates. But like I say, we have the clerk of courts. We have all these positions open of people that's running for office here in Broward County. The Broward County Supervisor of Election. It's so many people who I think that, Mr. Scott, I believe he's doing an excellent job. We had him on our podcast 4 years ago, and pretty much everyone we had on our podcast, they won last in 2020, the year that the COVID year, I call it. That was a bad year for a whole lot of people. We lost a lot of good people that year, but go back. We had Mr. The state attorney. We had him on, and he was just a candidate then. He came on our podcast and he won. And we're going to have him on very soon.
Harold Pryor.
Harold Pryor, Broward County State Attorney Harold Pryor. We're going to have him.
Commissioner Todd Drosky, he wants to probably come on later on, maybe this year.
We hope to get him on our podcast. We hope to get some more people from the county. We hope that we already got the connection to Beverly Perkins and Pompano. We just need to make the call to get her here. Even in Pompano, you have a lot of races running down there in Pompano. So, not just here, you got a lot of races in Pompano, Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park, a lot of people that we know that are running that we support and that we know. So just do your homework on those candidates and just more or less go out and exercise your right to vote and vote responsibly.
Don't hold your vote hostage, people. I'm not going to vote for this reason and this reason, whatever. So don't hold your vote hostage, all right? I think that's about it, man. We just wanted to hop on here for a pop-up podcast to let you all fill you in on a couple of things, along the way. Again, we're trying out our new platform, StreamYard here.
It seems to be working fine.
Our name, Allen Brothers Podcast, and our Cash App and Zelle, and the call-in number is on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So this is new to us, but we're going to be learning some real cool features here in the near future. So,
and I just wanted to say a few other things going on in the community. Actually, not even in the community of Broward County. What do y'all think about the long lines with the kids going into school with the metal detectors? I mean, I know the metal detectors are new, but it's been making headlines the last 2 days. I know my grandson said they had to wait out in the sun for like about an hour and a half just to get in school. And I know this is new to the school. We all knew that it was gonna be tough for the kids, and hopefully it can get better. They showed on the news long lines, for the metal detectors in schools across Broward County. Some of the lines were as long as 2 hours long, an hour and a half to 2 hours long, because they anticipated things that they told the kids to take out of their backpacks. Like, it's just like you're going through the airport. They tell you to take your laptop, belt buckles, binders, notebook binders. All of that is setting the metal detectors off. So once the metal detectors set off, I guess they have to go and wind you down. So that is what's the hold up. Hopefully the kinks will get taken care of. But right now, I know it has to be frustrating for the kids and the parents with the long lines for their kids to even get into class because of the long lines that are with the metal detectors. But we know that was going to be a problem. This is new technology. So if everyone can try to bear with it, I think as time go on, it's going to get better. It's for the safety of the kids, and trust me, I think I'd rather have the long lines. I mean, I don't want to see the kids out in that hot sun because it is brutal out there during the day with the heat. Hopefully they can put the kids somewhere where they don't have to be in that hot sun, but hopefully it gets better as far as getting the kids, ushering the kids into so they can get their classwork done. I just hope that it gets better. Right now, it's a major inconvenience, and it's going to be in the headlines again tonight because I saw a preview of the news earlier.
I think they'll get it straightened out. There's something new they're installing right now. They just need to tweak it a little bit.
That's it. Rather have that than someone bringing a gun or a knife or brass knuckles or anything else within the confines of the school grounds.
Anything else before we?
Also, there is a budget workshop on August. Well, it was on August. It's on August 28th, Wednesday, but that was rescheduled if I'm exact, right?
I believe it was.
Rebecca sent us the new revised one. But we'll post it. Also, I'm trying to think if anything else, if anyone have announcements, stick it in the chat. If anything with your church or anything, if you're doing something or if it's something that the community needs to know, stick it in the chat. You're always welcome to go back in the chat and stick it in there. If not, you have email it to us at Adams Brothers Podcast or Adams Brothers POD. It's Adams Brothers Pod at gmail.com. That's Adams Brothers Pod POD at gmail.com. The next time we'll stick the email also in the chat along with our Cash App. Please support us, Cash App.
It's at the bottom of the
It's
screen.
at the bottom of the screen. Our donations have been down a little bit, but we're here for the community, but help us out a little bit because we take our time in trying to do this. We want to thank everyone for joining in. God bless everyone, and hopefully we'll have some more content. Go back and watch our interview that we had with Broward County Animal Control. We had 2 representatives from there. Go back and look at that. Go back and look at that on YouTube. And just God bless everybody. And y'all have a good, safe day. Have a good, safe weekend. And like as I always say, we're never gone. Also, we had a great trust and estate by Pastor Clarence Honor, the wife, First Lady Charlene Honor, last Saturday at Greater Bethel, and she talked about estate planning, and which is, I think, it's very essential to the community. It was open to the community.
I have a video that I'm waiting to get it approved first, and then we'll repost it.
So that's all I wanted to add. I'm trying to think anything else. Condolences to families that have lost someone. The Allen family, Steve Allen, my classmate. We lost Steve Allen here 2 weeks ago. Steve is my classmate. I've known Steve since the 1st or 2nd grade. We lost Steve. Condolences to his family. And condolences to the Muff family. Everyone knows Miss Elaine from Deerfield Park Elementary. We lost Miss Muff Grant, about a week and a half ago. So condolences to those 2 families. We also had, they just buried Vicki Gillian. That was Conrad Ely's wife. So condolences to the Gillian family. I just wanted to say that before we get out of here.
Okay. I think that's about it. So, again, I want to thank you all for watching the Adams Brothers Podcast, man. This is just a pop-up.
I want to thank Jonathan Salas.
Trying out some new...
Rebecca Medina.
Trying out some new StreamYard. Trying out the new StreamYard today. So, thank you again, Dover Milton, and Jamar Terra for...
And Tony says, yeah, exactly. A lot of people
we're new to this, so just bear with us a little bit. We're gonna get it straightened out, all the little kinks, and once we do, you're gonna notice the difference. Thank you all for watching, man. Have a good rest of your evening, and continue to rock with us on our channels right here, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook right now. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.
God bless you.
Good night, everybody.